Are you afraid of monsters? Well, mate, get ready for your worst nightmares to come true. Number ones, what a pleasure. Now, we all love armor, and often on my channel I show really good quality armor, and yeah, I've recently talked about how the riga segmentata could be really high quality if you get it from Fabbrica Cacti, for example, and I like showing really good museum images and etc. But what about the really terrible armor? You know, those reproductions of armor that you shouldn't pay them to get, they should pay you for collecting them. Right off the bat. What do you think about this? What happened to the segmentata there? Did it get fat? Did you give it too much pasta? That is one pasta-filled segmentata, I'll tell you. I think the person who made this was blind. Honestly, mate, you are despicable. Holy moly, who made this? This one here looks like he needs to go somewhere rather urgently. Holy mother of Dovahkiin. See, the problem are the proportions. So let's get some shots of armor that got its proportions wrong. Really wrong. I mean it. You thought that was bad? Well, check out these helmets then. Oh gosh, I think I have had enough. What about this one? Lads, just listen to my words, right? If you don't have a little budget, wait, don't buy armor. You see, unfortunately, armor is expensive. There is this saying in Italian, chi più spende meno spende. I've already mentioned it a long time ago. It means those who spend more, spend less. Because if you buy something like this, then eventually you will have to upgrade. Because it's probably going to break. It's not going to function properly. You will see the proper stuff. If you enter into a reenactment group, then you know it's not going to be up to standard. It might seem like you're spending less, but you're not, because eventually you have to buy again the better quality armor. So you might want a similar situation with swords, really, and weaponry. So you might want, I've made this mistake myself. I bought some helmets that were really bad, but you know, I was very young and I still didn't understand much about armor. Now I understand a lot more, and I can tell now, and this is why I don't want you to make the same mistake buying this sort of, yeah. So I'm just saying, let's say you want to buy a helmet and you can get a helmet for, I don't know, 80 euros, and then there is the good one for 200. Just wait, get the 200 one, and it will last you forever if you do proper maintenance, and you won't have to buy anything again, because that helmet is going to be very well made. And I would strongly suggest you to just go to actual armourers, people who make the armour for you, whether it be helmets, whether it be even swords. I will link down below a lot of sites where I personally purchase of people who can make the armour, weapons and helmets and anything you want, and it's going to be top-notch quality, rather than going to buy off-the-shelf stuff. I wouldn't really suggest you to do that. Some people said that I've become rather strict, but it's not just a matter of being strict. I mean, if you had a passion, and let's say you are an expert on not that I'm an expert, I'm saying you are an expert in Second World War, and you see people reenacting Second World War with modern guns, you're going to freak out, because it's not a matter of just let the guy do his reenactment. And of course, I'm not going to try and stop anyone, but I do, since I have a voice on YouTube, wish to first at least teach people that, for example, that sort of weaponry, or that sort of cap, or that sort of helmet or armor, if we go back to the Middle Ages, is not coherent with the set, is not true. Just like 300, for example, where you have the Spartans fighting naked. Instead, in reality, the Spartans were the most armored of all the Greeks. So I understand why they chose not to give them completely closed Corinthian helmets like they would have had, because then you wouldn't have been able to recognize the actor. And I understand that thoroughly. Similar situation in Arm the Templar, the film that I've recently talked about. They all have the aventail down during hand-to-hand combat, and that doesn't make sense, but it's a necessity. It's needed for filming purposes so that you can recognize and empathize with the actors. I totally understand that, but it is important, I think, to point out when certain things are not done properly, and this video was just a funny way to do it. I hope it was entertaining, but let me know which one of these was the most terrible of all for you in the comments below. And remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Goodbye. Mamma mia!